dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Cassidy Strickland. Today is Sunday, October 9th. Let's check in with meteorologist Arden Gregory for a look at your forecast this morning. Well, if folks are heading out and about this morning, they probably want to pack a jacket with them.
Yes, absolutely. Grab that jacket on the way out the door because we're off to a rather chilly start this morning. It definitely feels like October out there. We are off to a nice dry start as well. Pinpoint Doppler showing clean sweeps as we scan skies. No rain to worry about today. And temperature-wise, as I mentioned, off to a bit of a chilly start this morning. Many locations actually dipped into the upper 30s last night. We're now in the low to mid to even upper 40s in some locations, but that's still rather chilly. So as you're headed out the door this morning, probably want to grab that jacket and keep in mind a little bit of patchy fog is possible, but shouldn't be too terribly bad. Should be burning off here in the next little bit. I don't expect it to cause any travel problems. As we head into the afternoon hours, nice and sunny with those fall-like temperatures. We're only going to climb into the mid to upper 60s today, so another cool day ahead of us, but really nice with all that sunshine. I'll have the details on what you can expect for the rest of this week coming up a little later.
All right, thank you, Arden. Saying goodbye to an Eastern Kentucky legend. Last night, hundreds in Clay County paid their respects to the family of Coach Bobby Keith. Keith spent 29 seasons on the sideline as head coach of the Clay County Tigers, retiring with 767 wins, ranking 5th on Kentucky's all-time wins list. He died Wednesday at the age of 75. A man described as larger than life, Bobby Keith left a lasting impression not just on his former players and those around the Tiger program, but to anyone he came into contact with. WTBK and WYMT broadcaster Earl Owens needed only one word to describe the Clay County icon.
Legend. I think, Josh, tremendous legend, icon, not only in Clay County, but in the mountains in the state of Kentucky. I think he was a walk-in genius for basketball, but I think one thing that Coach instilled in his players, the people of Clay County, the people of the mountains, he was very prideful of his hometown, his county, his mountain region.
Keith was certainly proud to be from Clay County, from Eastern Kentucky. And coming up and a little later on the newscast, we'll hear from one former player on how Keith's 1987 state championship with the Tigers was for much more than just Clay County. Now, Coach Keith's funeral is today at 2 p.m. The service will be held at the Clay County High School Gymnasium, which is named in his honor. The family has agreed to let us carry the funeral service live. It will be on our second channel, This TV, and streamed on WYMT.com. London police are searching for a person of interest involved in a death investigation. 62-year-old Donnie Stone was found dead at his home early this morning. Police believe 35-year-old John Stricker of London may be involved in his death. They say Stricker may be armed and dangerous. Police believe he may be driving a 2004 single-cab black Dodge pickup truck with a faded front hood and a missing front grille. If you have any information regarding Stricker's location, please call the London Police Department at 606-878-7000. Well, the show must go on. Members at the River's Edge Church in Corbin managed to worship yesterday morning despite the fact a thief stole items from the church. I spoke with church members who say enough is enough. Music was limited for Saturday morning worship at the River's Edge Church in Corbin. On Friday, band members came in to practice, quickly realizing most of their instruments and equipment missing.
2 electric guitars, 2 bass guitars, 4 monitor speakers, and a computer, and I think a microphone was taken.
These guitars, just 2 of the items stolen. Band members say they owned all of the instruments personally. They were kept at the church in hopes of safekeeping.
And it just saddened me that this is what it's resorted to, people breaking into a church and stealing stuff from a church. You know, like I said, nothing's sacred anymore. You know, nobody looks at it, well, that's a church, let's not break in there.
It is estimated that all of the stolen equipment is worth more than $2,000. Now, this isn't the first time the River's Edge Church has dealt with stolen property. If you recall, just last month, their church van was also stolen. The van was recovered, and now leaders are wondering if there may be a connection to the crimes.
You know, if you come to the house of God and do something like that, it tells what kind of person you really are. And yeah, they need mercy. They need God. But they also need to be brought to justice.
On Saturday, the church band played on, thanks to folks within the community who brought instruments.
It warms our heart and really, sends a message that we're going to stand and we're going to worship God no matter what.
So far, no suspects have been identified. The church is offering a reward to anyone with information which leads to the stolen items. If you know anything about the theft, you can call the Whitley County Sheriff's Office at 606-549-6006. Well, a Georgia fugitive and his mother are behind bars in Laurel County this morning. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies found Nathaniel Hartwell near Adams Road, south of London. He is wanted in Georgia regarding a child pornography charge and felony escape. They say his mother, Caitlin Hartwell, gave deputies a false name and lied about her son's location. They are both in the Laurel County Detention Center. A jury is recommending life in prison without the opportunity of parole for a southeastern Kentucky man convicted of murder. A Bell County jury convicted Sean Teague Thursday for the murder of Bertha Bradshaw, who was shot and killed in 2003. The jury made the sentencing recommendation Friday night. Teague's sentencing is set for November 7th at 11 a.m. Officials in Perry County responded to a house fire yesterday afternoon. Dispatchers tell us it happened on Highway 451 around 3:30. Avalon Volunteer Fire Department responded to the home. It is unclear if anyone was in the building at the time of the fire. No injuries were reported. And a mobile home is considered completely destroyed after a fire Saturday night in Knott County. The Vico Sassafras Volunteer Fire Department responded to the house fire around 10:15 last night. It happened on Shane Drive in Sassafras near Vico. Fire officials say they do not know how the fire started. Someone did live in the home, but it was empty at the time, and fortunately, no one was injured. Well, yesterday was the last day of the annual Daniel Boone Festival. There was a parade in downtown Barberville yesterday afternoon, and for one firefighter, this was his first year attending the festival. It was also his first year riding in the parade. He says seeing the smiles on kids' faces is his favorite part.
My favorite part was when the firefighter trucks were going by.
Oh, it was awesome putting a smile on these children's faces. Yeah, that's awesome. There's nothing else like seeing a smile on a child's face.
This was the festival's 69th year. Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, the latest on the widespread destruction caused by Hurricane Matthew. And the Kentucky Wildcats win in Lexington. Coming up in sports, we will go out to Commonwealth Stadium to see how the Cats defeated the Commodores.
And plenty of sunshine and some fall-like temperatures in the forecast. Stay with us. I'll break down the full 7-day forecast when we come back.
Are you prepared to protect your family? When it comes to legal matters, tune in to Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock on WYMT.
Government taxes too much, spends too much, and borrows too much. Our national debt is nearly $20 trillion. Rand Paul wants to stop big spending politicians by requiring a balanced budget by law. Rand Paul is doing his part to balance the budget, returning over $3 million from his Senate budget back to taxpayers, and voting to stop funding countries that hate America and burn our flag.
I'm Rand Paul, and I approve this message.
Turn it up, crank it up, feel it all around. Feel the power of the music, feel the power of the sound. Life's a great vibration, full of color, filled with motion. In the moving like a wave, my body fluid like the ocean. I don't waste my time with troubles, too late. I win, countdown, blast off, strapped up, strapped in. Now it's pounding like my heart, just like the rhythm in the street. My body grooving from my head to my feet. Just feel the beat.
Take a quiet walk back in time at the Bobby Davis Museum and Park located on Walnut Street in Hazard. The serene urban oasis is the perfect setting for walking, picnicking, and picture taking. Visit the museum exhibits, artifacts, and photographs for a view of Hazard and Perry Counties past. The museum sells local art, crafts, and books. The park hosts community events and is available for weddings, parties, and other gatherings. The Bobby Davis Museum and Park, a hidden jewel in downtown Hazard.
Round 2, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton face off in the second presidential debate, Sunday at 9 p.m. on WYMT.
The Broncos take on the Chargers Thursday on WYMT.
Follow WYMT on Twitter for the latest news, weather, and sports.
Good morning and a happy Sunday. Thank you for waking up with us. If you're heading outside soon, you might want to bring a jacket with you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of those crisp, cool fall mornings. It's really nice, but it's also rather chilly, so definitely grab that jacket. We are off to a nice dry start this morning. That's the good news. Pinpoint Doppler showing clean sweeps as we scan the skies. No rain to worry about today. And temperature-wise, like I said, look at these temperatures. It is rather chilly out there. Some locations even dipped into the upper 30s just before sunrise. We're now climbing our way through the 40s, 45 in Harlan, 47 in the Prestonsburg and Paintsville areas. So if you are planning to head out the door this morning, definitely grab that jacket because it is a little chilly. It's also possible you could run into some patchy fog, but that should be burning off here soon, and I don't expect it to cause any travel problems. As you go through the rest of your day, temperatures only climbing into the mid to upper 60s this afternoon, although it will be plenty sunny, a rather cool day across the board. Let's go ahead and break that down for you. Plenty of sunshine with those temperatures in the 40s this morning. As we go through the rest of your day, we'll see those temperatures slowly climb into the mid 60s as we head into the afternoon hours. Again, plenty of sunshine, hardly a cloud in the sky. As we go through the overnight hours, we'll see those temperatures fall into the lower 40s once again. We can't completely rule out that some of those valley locations could even fall into the upper 30s once again. Could see some patchy fog, but other than that, nice clear skies to start your Monday as well. It certainly feels like fall. The question is, does it look like fall? Well, we're certainly getting there. Our fall foliage map here shows that here in eastern Kentucky, we're near the peak season. Off to our east, they've already hit the peak. We should actually hit our peak sometime next week, I think, so the trees are starting to change. They'll completely change around mid-October. And for all of you allergy sufferers out there, we are out of the tree and grass allergy seasons. Those aren't anything to worry about, but the weed allergies, that is rather high. Don't let that stop you from getting outdoors, but just be aware of the fact that us allergy sufferers are going to be suffering today thanks to all of the weed pollen out there. And if you have plans to get out and about, it's going to be a great week for it across the board. Plenty of sunshine for the whole first part of the week. We will see the temperatures begin to climb a little more as we head toward midweek, with those temperatures in the lower 70s by Tuesday, climbing into the mid 70s by Wednesday. But again, plenty of sunshine. Our next rain chance arrives on Thursday as a cold front makes its way toward eastern Kentucky, but our air is so dry right now, it's going to really struggle to produce much rain. So we only have a slight chance then. It'll be very isolated to scattered, and honestly, we need the rain. We just can't seem to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I still have been struggling with allergies a lot, so I think a little rain would be helpful.
Some rain would be helpful, but I'm not going to complain too much about the sunshine. It is going to be a really beautiful week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Arden. Well, coming up, the UK Wildcats get a win. Jamie McCracken will have the details coming up.
You've waited and waited, and it's finally here. Big Sandy's Columbus Day sale. Shop 10 to 11 Monday and get a free wallet full of gift cards. Plus up to half off and 5 years interest free. Double the free stuff up to $1,000. Preview Sunday. Prize giveaways Monday.
We sent Greg Stumbo to Frankfurt nearly 4 decades ago. He's changed. Half our coal jobs are gone. And when Hillary Clinton said this,
"We're going to put a lot of coal miners out of business,"
Stumbo said this.
And Hillary Clinton has a plan. And yes, Obama, I believe in the core values that he represents.
Hillary's coal plan, Obama's values? Greg Stumbo. His values aren't our values anymore. Republican State Leadership Committee is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
People's Bank and Trust of Hazard is strongly committed to our community's development, investing in a wide range of business and local organizations. You need the support of a local bank that is looking for ways to help you succeed. That's what People's Bank and Trust is all about. They always have your best interest at heart. People's Bank and Trust of Hazard, strongly committed to our community. Member FDIC.
From severe weather to snow, foggy mornings, and sunny afternoons, there are lots of different kinds of weather here in the mountains.
Now you can learn how the meteorologists know what's going on. Sign up for a WYMT weather class. A member of the Sky Alert weather team will visit your school and talk about what they know best. Sponsored by Kentucky Power. Sky Alert weather, dedicated to Eastern Kentucky.
Columbus Day, we're giving away prizes every 3 hours. Like this Ashley 5-piece queen bedroom, this Tempur-Pedic queen set, this Beauty Rest sofa, even a Frigidaire Gallery French door dispenser refrigerator. Enter Monday or Sunday to win.
Big Sandy Superstore, bigger, better.
Sports, sponsored by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings. This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
Good morning, too. We start this morning with the passing of longtime Clay County basketball coach Bobby Keith. Yesterday afternoon, supporters from all across Kentucky showed up to pay their respects during a visitation service at Clay County High School. Sports Director Josh McKinney was in Manchester yesterday and has more on the Mountain legend.
I love the man, and there'll never be another one like him.
A one-of-a-kind legend, Bobby Keith made a lasting impression on fans not just across the mountains of eastern Kentucky, but across the Commonwealth.
Well, Bobby was representative of a very special time and represented the entire state in the promotion of high school basketball and promoting the tournament. He always came back to the state tournament, and certainly his success is legendary.
And even though his legacy will be based largely on what he did as a basketball coach, Keith used basketball to influence lives in ways far beyond the court.
He helped develop what we were able to do at Elkhorn City when I coached there. He was a big part, and part of that was beating our brains out. I think we contributed 5 wins in that 129, but we never came away from here without learning something. So he was a special person.
So many people know him. He touched so many lives. This is, he raised people up. He made people better, and that's what I think people know about him. And he could make kids believe they could do anything in the world. He was such a motivator.
A Mountain legend with a stature more iconic than his on-court records. From Pikeville to Paducah, high school basketball fans across Kentucky will surely miss Bobby Keith. In Clay County, Josh McKinney, Sports Overtime, Saturday night.
All right, good stuff there from Josh. The funeral for Bobby Keith will be today at 2 o'clock p.m. at Clay County High School. Of course, you can watch the services live on this TV, that's our second channel, and online at WYMT.com. Now to football. The football Cats back at Commonwealth Stadium on Saturday with a 2-3 record. Kentucky seeking to get back to 500 after losing in Tuscaloosa last weekend. And the loser of this one would almost kill their chances at a bowl bid and perhaps returning the same head coach next season. Well, what a gorgeous day in Lexington it was. Mark Stoops ready to go. Steven Johnson ready to go, although not the greatest day for Steven Johnson. Mid-first quarter, you got to give it to Joe Kemp. He had a nice day. Little cutback, gets down inside to the 4-yard line. Next play, they go to the Kemp Cat, hike it right to him, and it's 7-0 Kentucky in the first quarter. Vander responds back. Tommy Openshaw, 48-yarder. Real good. That makes it 7-3. Late second quarter now, Kentucky punting. The punt is up, but the ball is down on the ground. Eli Brown's all over it, recovers it in Commodore territory. UK gets another chance, and they'll capitalize. Steven Johnson making the Vandy defense look silly off that fake. 14-3 Kentucky. A few drives later, Austin McGinnis out to kick a 46-yarder. Is good. 17-3. That would be your halftime score because Openshaw would miss this one before the half. Wide left. Jump to the fourth quarter. Kentucky up 20-13. Vandy with 3 cracks at it. Kyle Shermer to Jared Pinckey. Nope. 3rd and goal at the UK 8. Shermer to Kalia Lipscomb. He caught it, but he wasn't in bounds. Now 4th and goal at the UK 13 after a delay of game. Shermer back to Lipscomb. Not happening. Mark Stoops can breathe. The Cats win 20-13 last night. They are off next week and will host Mississippi State in 2 weeks. Here's some post-game reaction from last night's game.
Very proud of the victory.
We really needed the break right now. We spent, these past 6 weeks, it's been, as I said before, it's been a tough start, but our guys have stayed the course. We've gotten better. I told you we were getting better, and we certainly have. There's no doubt defensively we have, and offensively we will get back to moving the football. We got some good momentum, and looking forward to giving these guys a few days off and getting healthy and ready for that last stretch.
This upcoming week, we're going to work on, just my targets. Work on just getting the ball to the right receivers and putting it on them, and that's about it.
I'm going to try to keep my feet a little faster. I'm going to try to get as faster. I need to watch a little more film. There were holes I could have hit. I could have scored, but I didn't. So there's plenty of things I can do better.
Could the magic keep coming for Tennessee Volunteer fans? Let's see. The undefeated Vols down in Aggie land yesterday. Fourth quarter, Texas A&M up 35-28. Now, there's just 2 minutes to go in the game, right? Here comes the nail in the coffin. Travion Williams headed to the end zone, but Malik Foreman punches the football out. Take another look. What a heads-up play by Foreman. What would have been the nail in the coffin turns to a Tennessee ball at the 20. And in just 6 plays, Joshua Dobbs marches his squad down the field. He got Alvin Kamara, 18-yard touchdown, and we're tied 35-all, because that's the way the Vols do it. Now, Daniel LaCamara had a chance to win it for A&M with a 38-yard field goal. That's wide left. Oh, my goodness. Yes, it's going to happen. Second overtime we go. 38-38, Trevor Knight, 1-yard touchdown run, 45-38, Texas A&M. So the Vols, they got a chance, but they got to have a touchdown. Dobbs. That's not a touchdown. That's an interception. Glass slipper not going to fit anymore. Armani Watts picks Dobbs off. A&M wins it 45-38 in double overtime. Tennessee hosts #1 Alabama next Saturday right here on WYMT. Well, the Cumberland's Patriots coming off a bye week after losing their last 2 games. And last night, the Pats had a tough challenge welcoming in the undefeated Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders. First quarter, no score. Not for long, though. Austin Hatfield. He's got a score for you. 36-yard touchdown, 7-0 Cumberlands. And then how about this? Dylan Beasley getting a big old bear hug by Robbie Garvin. That's a big man. Don't mess with him. I bet you he ate about 16 cheese sandwiches before the game. Second quarter, Seth Burke, 27-yard touchdown, virtually untouched. The Patriots had 223 yards of rushing, but Lindsey Wilson hands them their 3rd loss in a row, 41-27, the final out in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Cumberland's host Kentucky Christian next Saturday night. That's a look at sports this morning. Enjoy your morning.
WYMT Mountain News, winner of the 2016 Ohio Valley Regional Emmy Award for Weather Report.
Hazard Community and Technical College offers a quality education in nursing, and the proof is in our graduates and their success.
I love the faculty. They made what we were doing in a very hard class doable. They were very encouraging and kept our spirits up.
Our faculty offer a quality education with a combined 128 years of teaching experience.
I enjoyed the nursing program due to the experience in the field, and the nursing instructors cared that we did a good job.
The deadline to apply for the spring 2017 registered nursing class is November 1st.
We know what matters to you, whether it's in your hometown or in the nation's capital.
Reporting from Washington.
Reporting at the White House.
Reporting at the Supreme Court.
I'm Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro, WYMT Mountain News. We're bringing your lawmakers to you.
We are the only news organization in Eastern Kentucky with a bureau in Washington, D.C., covering our lawmakers and our issues. Another reason why WYMT is dedicated to Eastern Kentucky. Round 2, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton face off in the second presidential debate, Sunday at 9 p.m. on WYMT.
The Cardinals take on the 49ers Thursday on WYMT.
Well, we are off to a nice dry start here in eastern Kentucky this morning, and it certainly feels like fall out there. Pinpoint Doppler showing clean sweeps as we scan the skies. No rain to worry about today, and temperature-wise, a little bit chilly out there. Many locations dipped into the upper 30s overnight. We're now climbing our way through the 40s, and as we go through the rest of your day, we'll see those temperatures eventually climb into the mid to upper 60s later on this afternoon under ample sunshine. Now, some locations are still dealing with Matthew, but it has since been dropped down from a hurricane to a post-tropical cyclone. So it is weakening as it makes its last leg up the east coast, but it is still bringing 75 mile per hour winds as well as plenty of rain. You can see that there are all those yellows and oranges still bringing flooding to much of the east coast, but thankfully it is weakening, although it has already left plenty of destruction in its path. Cassidy?
Thank you, Arden. Hurricane Matthew has left behind widespread destruction across Haiti and killed hundreds in its path. Officials fear the death toll could increase as workers reach the worst hit areas. Haiti counted at least 470 dead in one district alone when Hurricane Matthew swept through the Caribbean island. Haitian officials say they do not know an exact number because so many people are still missing. Worse still, there are warnings the aftermath could worsen the nation's cholera epidemic, which killed at least 10,000 people after the 2010 earthquake. UN officials say the hurricane is Haiti's worst humanitarian crisis since that devastating earthquake. Well, here in the U.S., Matthew is still leaving a trail of destruction across the southeast. While the storm is still thrashing North Carolina, other areas are beginning to assess the damage. Matthew is blamed for at least 9 deaths in the U.S. CBS News correspondent Marley Hall has the latest from Florida.
Hurricane Matthew's powerful storm surge collapsed up here in Oak Island, North Carolina Saturday. Matthew is bearing down on the state as a Category 1 storm with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour.
This is a very, very serious and deadly storm.
In St. Augustine, Matthew's ferocious winds eroded sand dunes along the beach and wiped out support pilings to beachfront homes. Matthew made landfall in South Carolina and left roads completely underwater. Flash flooding is so severe, a man used his kayak to get around in Charleston. Officials expect another 7 inches of rain to fall.
It's still a very serious situation, and we are not out of the woods.
Matthew also caused massive destruction in Florida. An 8-block stretch of roadway was washed away in Flagler Beach.
It's unbelievable. Mother Nature had something against us.
In this residential community here in Flagler, most of the homes were damaged, including this one. Hurricane-force winds peeled the roof right off. Andrea Banks was among the thousands forced to flee their homes. She returned home to survey the damage.
You can't let yourself think about it too hard because then you crack up.
While the cleanup is just beginning here in Florida, further north, officials say the worst is yet to come. Marley Hall, CBS News, Flagler Beach, Florida.
More than 1.5 million homes are without power from Florida to North Carolina. Well, a property data firm says the insured losses on homes and businesses damaged by Hurricane Matthew are likely to be in the billions. They estimate that the insured losses will be between $4 and $6 billion. However, Matthew's estimated losses are a fraction of those racked up by Superstorm Sandy and Hurricane Katrina. Sandy's insured property losses reached up to $20 billion, while Katrina's hit as high as $40 billion. Well, Milan will pay $465 million to settle allegations that it overbilled Medicaid for its life-saving EpiPen allergy injection. The federal government says EpiPen is a branded drug, which means Milan should have been paying a far higher rebate under the government's complex pricing rules. Milan said Friday the proposed settlement resolves all potential federal and state government claims. Why are some Americans willing to take a pay cut, and how much is a letter worth? CBS's Karina Mitchell has those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
Investors will wait to see if Wall Street can rally after closing lower Friday.
The Dow fell 28 points while the Nasdaq dropped 14. United Technologies will cut its pension liabilities by more than $1.7 billion this year. The maker of Otis Elevator says it will offer lump sum payments to about 10,000 retirees and will transfer management of another 36,000 of its retirees' pension plans to Prudential Insurance to reduce costs. And some Americans are willing to take up to a 21% pay cut to work from home. That's according to researchers from Harvard and Princeton who surveyed people currently employed or in the job market. The poll also finds only 9% of U.S. workers say they currently have the option to do so. And a letter from the highest-ranking crew member to survive the sinking of the Titanic is going up for auction this month in the UK. Estimates for the poignant letter written to a friend of the ship's assistant surgeon range from $12,000 to almost $19,000. And that's your Money Watch. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
There's more than one way to pay for college. Do you know how to pay? Whether you're a hardworking citizen looking for a new career or a high school student in your senior year, FAFSA is right for you. FAFSA, or Free Application for Federal Student Aid, will assist you in obtaining federal grants and loans. It is the biggest and easiest step that you can take. And in the fall of 2016, you can complete and submit your FAFSA beginning October 1st. This announcement is brought to you by Know How to Go KY.
Check out this week's University of Pikeville Top 5 Plays of the Week. Visit WYMT.com and vote for your favorite, then watch Mountain News at 6 Thursday night to see the winner.
CBS Monday.
Why are you all smiling like crazy people?
You'll be smiling too when you find out who's shacking up.
Honestly, if it didn't get you all worked up, I'd kiss you right now.
On TV's #1 comedy.
Good call. Seeing your Teen Titans underwear really got my motor running.
A new Big Bang Theory. Then, can you get too much of Kevin James?
You're like triple chocolate cake. You can't eat it every night.
That's not a good analogy for me. It's TV's #1 new comedy.
Smiley face with glasses, dynamite.
A new Kevin Can Wait, right after the Big Bang Theory, CBS Monday.
Hello, I'm Speaker Greg Stumbo, the first Eastern Kentuckian ever to be elected as Speaker of the House in Frankfort. They say I'm against coal, but I've fought for our coal miners and our coal industry all of my life. I've got a 100% voting record in support of coal miners and our coal industry. I've worked to bring jobs and educational opportunities here, to build roads and schools, to protect our senior citizens. I'll continue to fight for you, and I ask for your vote on November the 8th.
Greg Stumbo has our back. We need Greg Stumbo working for us.
You may never need an attorney, but if you do, you should be prepared. Tune in to Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock on WYMT. When news breaks, always be in the know with WYMT on the go. Join us on your tablet or smartphone by going to WYMT.com or our app, powered by Appalachian Wireless. Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Cassidy Strickland. Today is Sunday, October 9th. Let's check in with meteorologist Arden Gregory for a look at your forecast this morning. Well, if you wished for fall-like temperatures, you got it today.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely feels like fall out there. It's a nice, crisp, dry morning, but it's also rather chilly. Pinpoint Doppler is showing nice, clean sweeps out there. No rain to worry about today, but temperature-wise, grab that jacket because our temperatures are only in the 40s across eastern Kentucky this morning. And as we go through the rest of your day, we'll see those temperatures continue to climb, breaking into the low 60s by around lunchtime, and then eventually topping out in the mid to upper 60s later on this afternoon. And there's plenty of sunshine still left in the forecast. I'll break down the details of exactly what you can expect for the rest of this week coming up a little later.
All right, thank you, Arden. Saying goodbye to an Eastern Kentucky legend. Last night, hundreds in Clay County paid their respects to the family of Coach Bobby Keith. Keith spent 29 seasons on the sideline as head coach of the Clay County Tigers, retiring with 767 wins, ranking 5th on Kentucky's all-time wins list. He died Wednesday at the age of 75. Friends, family, fellow coaches, and former players all lined up to honor a man many call larger than life. And by that, they mean he was so much more than just a basketball coach.
Well, more than anything else, Bobby was an advocate for kids, period. And that was evidenced by how intense he was even around his daughter's cheerleading squads and opportunities for people. And he would go to competitions that didn't even involve students he knew. He was a promoter of students, a promoter of getting out and getting involved, and students being involved and doing the right thing.
Many of the people at the visitation said they wanted to make sure that people knew Coach Keith was more than just a great basketball coach, that he was also a tremendous influence in the lives of everyone he came in contact with. Coach Keith's funeral is at 2 this afternoon. The service will be held at Clay County High School Gymnasium, which is named in his honor. The family has agreed to let us carry the funeral service live. It will be on our second channel, This TV, and streamed on WYMT.com. Well, Interstate 75 in Fayette County is open again after a fatal crash yesterday morning. Crews say the driver traveled several hundred feet off the road before crashing into a barrier, causing the car to burst into flames. Officials say the driver died. His body was under the car when first responders arrived. Investigators have not released the name of the person who died or what caused him to lose control of the car. Well, one man is blaming the sun for a car crash. It happened on Kentucky 229 in Laurel County on Friday morning. Police say this black Escalade was turning into a school parking lot when someone driving a blue Cavalier hit the SUV. The driver of the car says the sun blinded him, causing him to hit the SUV. Emergency officials took the driver of the Cavalier to St. Joseph Hospital. A woman and an 8-year-old boy who were inside the Escalade were treated at the scene for possible injuries. Officials arrested a 14-year-old boy in Tazewell County, Virginia for posting threats to schools through an Instagram account titled Fred the Clown. The Buchanan County Sheriff's Office and the Tazewell County Sheriff's Office arrested the boy Thursday. Deputies say he faces a felony for threatening Twin Valley and Grundy high schools. More charges are expected to follow. Both departments warn dressing up as clowns and making threats could result in legal consequences. Well, folks in the Big Sandy have been celebrating festivities all week, and yesterday was no different. Members of Eastern Kentucky motor clubs brought their motorcycles out for the Jenny Wiley Bike Show. Dozens of motorcycles parked in downtown Prestonsburg for the show. Proceeds go toward Shriners Hospital for their burn victims camp in northern Kentucky. Brothers Keepers Motorcycle Club hosts the event.
With being police, fire, EMS, being those that give back to the community is what we like to do and what we try to promote that we do.
The Brothers Keepers Club is made up of firefighters, both paid and volunteer. Members say they are glad to have a festival like this one to show off their bikes. And down the street from the bike show, runners braved rainy weather yesterday morning for the 7th annual Jenny Wiley 5K for diabetes. The race is in honor of Dr. Ron Leslie. Leslie helped educate many in Floyd County about diabetes. Organizers say the disease has a big impact on eastern Kentucky.
Type 2 diabetes is rampant in Kentucky and especially in eastern Kentucky. And a lot of people are pre-diabetic and don't know that they are.
More than 50 people ran in the race. Coordinators say the Floyd County Health Department also hosts classes to help educate people on the disease. Well, dozens of people in Letcher County spent their Saturday raising money in awareness for spina bifida. The Spina Bifida Association of Kentucky hosted a walk-and-roll event at Riverside Park in Whitesburg. The event was in tribute to Casey Begley, who lost her battle to the disease in 2014. Begley was well known in the community for her positive attitude and was named homecoming queen at Letcher County Central High School shortly before her death. Walk and roll events were recently held in cities across the state, raising nearly $100,000 for cure research. And at the University of the Cumberlands, people took off for the Red Boot Run. This video was sent to us by a viewer. We are told more than 50 people attended the race in Williamsburg. The foundation brings awareness to organ donation. Casey Patrick started the Red Boot Foundation with his brother Jason in honor of their mother, Norma Patrick. Norma was unable to receive a liver transplant before her death in 2012.
When you talk about heroes in the world, organ donors should be on the top of that list. And those stories are sad yet powerful and amazing. And then the recipients to get a new chance at life with someone else's kidney or someone else's lung, or someone else's heart or liver, I don't think there could be, again, a feeling that could, a word that could describe that sense of gratitude that those folks have.
Unable to make it to Kentucky for this year's race, Patrick and his family participated in the virtual version of the race yesterday, all the way from Texas. He says he was just one of dozens within the U.S. racing for the cause, raising more than $5,500 for the Red Boot Foundation. For more information on how you can take part in the virtual race, visit our website, WYMT.com. Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, an update from the campaign trail and a look at how social media and race relations could influence tonight's presidential debate.
And plenty of sunshine and fall-like temperatures in store today. Stay with us. I'll let you know what to expect the rest of the week when we come back.
Breast cancer awareness. It's not just for October. 1 out of 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. At ARH, we know that early detection saves lives. During the month of October, ARH is offering a $50 mammogram special.
More towers in more places means better service. Amazing deals with the hottest smartphones coupled with competitive rates means bigger savings. It's easy to see why more and more people are choosing Appalachian Wireless than ever before. Not to mention easily accessible local service and support that you can count on. See for yourself. Visit any one of their 21 retail stores or many other authorized dealer locations near you. Better service, bigger savings. Serving you for the last 25 years at Appalachian Wireless.
Friday night, famous for touchdowns. Lee's, famous for chicken. Lee's famous recipe chicken is out to prove bold is definitely better with our 10-piece bonus box for only $14.99. Get all of the bold flavor you can handle with 10 pieces of our spicy mixed chicken, and we'll include a large order of our home-style mashed potatoes and gravy. Here, big flavor also means big value. Fall into flavor at Lee's with our 10-piece bonus box for only $14.99. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
We sent Greg Stumbo to Frankfurt nearly 4 decades ago. He's changed. Half our coal jobs are gone. And when Hillary Clinton said this,
We're going to put a lot of coal miners out of business.
Stumbo said this.
Hillary Clinton has a plan. And yes, Obama. I believe in the core values that he represents.
Hillary's coal plan, Obama's values? Greg Stumbo. His values aren't our values anymore. Republican State Leadership Committee is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
WYMT Mountain News, dedicated to Eastern Kentucky. When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger saving.
Good morning and happy Sunday. Thanks for waking up with us. The sun is up over Eastern Kentucky and it's looking to be a very beautiful day.
Oh yeah, it's already very pretty out there this morning. Taking a look outside of our studios right now, you can see the sun has come up over the mountains there. You can see just a little bit of patchy fog down in the valleys, but that is beginning to burn off, and we are off to a nice dry start across Eastern Kentucky with pinpoint Doppler showing clean sweeps. Temperature-wise, it is a little bit cool out there. Some locations dipped into the upper 30s overnight. We're now climbing through the 40s with temperatures in the upper 40s in Jackson. So as you're headed out the door this morning, grab that jacket because it is a little bit chilly and you might see some of that patchy fog, but it should be burning off here soon, and I don't expect it to cause any travel issues. As we go through the rest of your day, temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s under plenty of sunshine. A really gorgeous day ahead of us. Let's go ahead and break that down for you. This morning, plenty of sunshine with those temperatures in the 40s across much of Eastern Kentucky. As we head into the afternoon hours, again, just plenty of sunshine, hardly a cloud in the sky, climbing into the mid 60s across Eastern Kentucky as we head into the afternoon. And then as we head into the overnight hours, we'll see those temperatures fall back into the lower 40s once again. We can't completely rule out that some of those valley locations could even dip into the upper 30s once again. Could see some patchy fog, but aside from that, a nice sunny start to your Monday as well. It certainly feels like fall, but does it look like fall? Well, we're getting there. Our fall foliage map shows we are near peak season here in Eastern Kentucky. Off to our east, they have already reached the peak season. Our fall foliage should reach peak in mid-October, so sometime next week is when those trees will really look like fall here in Eastern Kentucky. And for you allergy sufferers, The tree and grass pollen seasons are over. We don't have to worry about those, but you can probably feel there's still something in the air. That is the weed pollen. It is rather high this time of year. Don't let that keep you from getting outside, but just keep in mind that that might be a problem for you today. We have some really fantastic weather in store this week. Plenty of sunshine for the whole first half of the week, with those temperatures steadily climbing through the upper 60s today and tomorrow, and then on into the mid 70s by the middle of the week. Again, plenty of sunshine with that high pressure settled over eastern Kentucky. As we head into Thursday, that's our next rain chance as a cold front makes its way into eastern Kentucky. But our air is so dry right now, it's really going to struggle to produce very much rain. Just a stray chance on your Thursday as well as on your Saturday. Now, don't forget, Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $49 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $107 million. You're watching Mountain News This Morning right here on WYMT.
New clients.
Let's go meet them soon.
In person, we could read the room.
On the phone! You're just a voice. Yeah, I'm good.
For fast rewards,
let's book on Choice. This trip could really help us grow.
Should I stay or should I go?
When it's time to go for business, book on choicehotels.com and get a free night when you stay with us 2 times. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
We know what matters to you, whether it's in your hometown or in the nation's capital.
Reporting from Washington.
Reporting at the White House.
Reporting at the Supreme Court.
I'm Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro, WYMT Mountain News. We're bringing your lawmakers to you.
We are the only news organization in Eastern Kentucky with a bureau in Washington, D.C., covering our lawmakers and our issues. Another reason why WYMT is dedicated to Eastern Kentucky.
The second presidential debate is set for tonight in St. Louis, Missouri, and the stakes could hardly be higher. The Republican Party is in turmoil after an explosive recording exposed Donald Trump making vulgar comments about women. CBS's Jamie Yukas is at Washington University, where the candidates face off tonight.
Donald Trump greeted a crowd of supporters in New York. But behind the scenes, a crisis was getting worse by the hour. Key members of the Republican Party have pulled their support after hearing Trump's vulgar recorded comments about women.
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. I did try and her. She was married.
Reaction to the 2005 tape has been fierce, even from his own running mate. Mike Pence said he cannot condone or defend Trump's remarks.
Hey, everybody!
House Speaker Paul Ryan disinvited Trump to Saturday's Republican rally and said he was sickened by his comments.
I meant what I said, and it's still how I feel.
Senator John McCain joined dozens of Republicans withdrawing support. Every GOP woman in the Senate condemned Trump's remarks, and some lawmakers have gone farther, demanding that he drop out of the race. Trump says he'll never do that, but he made a rare apology in this video posted on social media.
I said it. I was wrong. And I apologize.
Trump will have to answer to voters tonight when he faces Hillary Clinton in their second presidential debate.
This requires a level of humility.
Dr. Wayne Fields is an expert on political rhetoric. He says Clinton should leave the scandal alone.
What she has to do is to avoid anything that suggests she's sort of paraphrasing what he said.
The debate will allow for questions from the audience, and Trump is likely to face some tough ones about this newest scandal. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, St. Louis, Missouri.
Adding to the scandal, CBS reviewed hours of audio tapes of Trump's conversations with radio host Howard Stern. They included crude discussions about women over a 17-year period. House Speaker Paul Ryan was jeered by some in the crowd at Washington Fall Festival Saturday afternoon for uninviting Trump to the event because of the 2005 video. Police stood close by as Trump supporters verbally sparred with Ryan supporters over Ryan's rescinded invitation. Bill Clinton was also in Wisconsin Saturday. He was campaigning for Hillary when protesters interrupted him, calling him a rapist. Clinton brushed off the comments, telling the crowd that Trump supporters, quote, had a bad day yesterday. Well, social media will play a role in the second presidential debate tonight. It's a town hall debate which will feature questions from both uncommitted audience members and voters on social media. WYMT's Washington correspondent Ted Fiorliso reports from Washington University in St. Louis.
A town hall debate with questions coming from members of the audience is nothing new, but the moderators for Sunday's town hall are taking to social media, asking the public what they want Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton to answer. Social media is playing a role in this campaign like we've never seen before. It's the apology heard around the world.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump saying he's sorry for lewd comments he made about women 11 years ago. Much as he's done throughout the campaign, Trump posted it on Facebook and Twitter.
He's done quite well in the use of Twitter from the standpoint of cutting through the din of information overload, of getting attention.
Charlie Firestone from the nonpartisan Aspen Institute points out Trump has more than 12 million followers on Twitter, but only follows 41.
He uses it as a push medium, as a way of getting out his views in an unfiltered way, so he doesn't have to go through the mainstream media.
With Trump, that video that has been released, I found out through Facebook.
Washington University student Amanda Namchuk is part of a growing number of cord cutters.
I get a lot of my news through Twitter and Facebook, and that's just the most convenient way to learn about recent events.
And she's not alone.
We looked at all of the activity around election-related content in 2012 compared to this cycle, and it's over 4 times as much as the last presidential race.
Brandon Silverman's company CrowdTangle does social monitoring. He says people spend an average of 50 minutes a day on Facebook, and their feeds are full of political content.
It's things your friends, your aunts, your parents are sharing, and the campaigns are using that to do persuasion, get out the vote.
It's a lot easier for candidates to push their agenda on social media, no questions asked. Sunday night, the candidates will be forced to take those questions. Whether or not they answer them directly, we'll have to wait and see. In St. Louis, I'm Ted Fiorliso.
WYMT's Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro is at the site of tonight's debate, Washington University in St. Louis. She has an in-depth look at where the candidates stand when it comes to race relations.
Tonight's debate is happening just 10 miles from Ferguson, Missouri, where racial tensions are still high. Community leaders say this is the time for the candidates to prove that they believe Black Lives Matter. This was the scene 2 years ago after a police officer shot and killed 18-year-old Michael Brown. The shooting sparked national protests. The officer was not indicted, and the Department of Justice cleared him of wrongdoing.
Then it just exploded into this mass response to multiple violences that happened.
Professor Jeffrey McCune was in Ferguson when the Black Lives Matter movement reignited. Now he's demanding answers for his community.
Where are we? Who are we? Who do we want to be as a country? And I think that we have yet to answer that question, and I think the candidates are pushed to answer this question.
McCune is supporting Hillary Clinton. Clinton promises to restore trust between police and communities of color and reform gun laws. She says our nation has a problem with systemic racism.
There's not one officer that I know that suits up, puts on their vest and their gun belt and says, I'm going to go out there and kill a certain type of person. If anything, officers would rather go their whole career never using it. These officers aren't monsters.
Joseph Imperatrice is a New York City police sergeant and president of Blue Lives Matter New York. He says many suspects resist arrest, fail to follow police orders, and refuse to take accountability for their actions.
If you show up to a gunfight, you better be prepared to be shot, no matter what side you're on, cop, bad person. So you can't criticize the police officers for using deadly physical force if it's presented against them.
Imperatrice tells us he's still an undecided voter, but the Fraternal Order of Police endorsed Donald Trump. Trump says he wants to restore law and order. He supports stop and frisk and says we need better community relations. The candidates will take some questions from the audience, meaning they may need to answer a difficult question on race relations directly from a passionate, undecided voter. Reporting in St. Louis, Missouri, I'm Jacqueline Policastro.
You can watch the debate right here on WYMT at 9 o'clock tonight. Well, police are searching for a suspect after 2 officers were shot and killed in Palm Springs, California yesterday afternoon. Police surrounded the home where 3 officers were shot Saturday after answering a call from a woman who said her adult son was causing a disturbance. All 3 officers were injured, 2 are dead. Jose Gilvega was a 35-year veteran of the department. The other officer, Leslie Zernby, had just returned from maternity leave.
27 years old. She's been on our police department for a year and a half. She just gave birth to a 4-month-old baby.
With the suspect at large, police treated the house as if he was still in it. They didn't identify the suspect, but said there was a history of calls to the house.
Night is a great night for which means it's also a great night for injuries. So Highlands Health System is offering some Saturday morning relief. From 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., you can visit our Black and Blue Clinic at the Highlands Wellness Center on the 5th floor of the hospital campus to be evaluated for free. And whether you were hurt from football, soccer, volleyball, or...
Mom, I think I broke my thumb playing video games.
Know that our orthopedic team is here to help.
WYMT-TV has an immediate opening for a creative service director. Successful candidates must be proficient in the use of Final Cut and Adobe products so they can oversee commercial design, create station promotions, and complete graphic design needs. Candidates must be self-motivated, have strong attention to detail with first-class communication and team working skills, as well as being flexible and adaptable to changing circumstances. Send your resume and cover letter to Neil Middleton, WYMT, P.O. Box 1299, Hazard, Kentucky 41702.
Closed captioning presented by Wolf, Williams & Reynolds, serving Eastern Kentucky for Social Security and Federal Black Lung.
A dream come true for a 12-year-old boy. A rare genetic disorder was keeping that young man on the sidelines until yesterday.
There's an old saying in sports that winning isn't everything, and that moment on a Wisconsin football field shows exactly why.
3rd down and 7.
On the football field behind Mukwonago High School, Eddie Kimenow is a popular guy. If you didn't know better, you might think he was the starting quarterback.
He loves sports. He loves sports, loves watching sports.
But parents Jenny and Brad knew at the age of 2, Eddie would never play. A rare genetic disorder causing weak bones and organs, leaving Eddie on the sideline, watching his friends play.
You know, when you have a one-on-one conversation at home, it gets to him. He's very sad about never being able to be out there and experience what all the other kids get to experience.
But under the bright sun, Kimenow got the call.
Special player, number 11, Eddie Kimenow.
Strapping on his helmet and pads, Eddie lined up in the backfield on the first play from scrimmage. With the crowd chanting his name, he took the handoff, following his blocks to the end zone. A dream come true, with not a dry eye in the house.
Immediately I broke out in tears, and I just want to thank all my teammates for helping me and blocking for me and make sure I don't get killed. It's been a long road, and it's been a little like a quiet dream for me. Like I've always wanted to come out and play football, but I knew I wouldn't be able to. But then someone said I could come and do it, and I was jumping for joy, and I was really speechless.
His tears of joy afterwards, I know that. It's all worth it.
That's such a sweet story. If you're having a bad day, that certainly should brighten it up for you.
So precious.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this morning, but don't forget, you can always find news and weather updates all day long on our website, WYMT.com. We'll see you back here at 6 and 11.
Have a great Sunday.
Service of Appalachian Wireless. For news 24 hours a day, take WYMT wherever you go, on your phone, iPad, or at WYMT.com.
Sky Alert Weather, dedicated to Eastern Kentucky.